Welcome to the Advanced Forecasting and Pipeline Analytics and Sugar Cell Premier quick video. In this video, we'll explore the advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics capability within Sugar Cell Premier, including the dashboards and dashlets available. Advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics is a solution that continually analyzes your sales and marketing metrics, learns normal patterns and relationships between attributes in your data, and surfaces insights into changes impacting those metrics. This automated analytics approach delivers early insight into changing business conditions with greater context to guide users toward needed actions without manually pouring through dozens of reports, dashboards, and spreadsheets. Before we take a look at the dashboards and dashlets available in advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics, there are some important things to consider. Advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics is only available in Sugar Cell Premier, and you must also use either the Opportunities or Revenue Line Items module. You also need to have the sales stage field enabled for audit to use this capability. Also, please keep in mind during this video, the way that advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics will work for your organization will vary depending on what data points you use and how you use your data within your Sugar instance. The dashlets we review will be uniquely configured for your organization, and in some cases, there may be dashlets that will not be available in your instance. This video will give you an overview of the available dashlets, and please remember that your configuration will be unique and vary from the examples used in this video. With that being said, let's take a look at our first dashboard, the Trend Analysis Dashboard. This dashboard shows how your revenue, conversion, and velocity metrics are trending over time and highlights any sugar opportunities or revenue line items that have stalled in the sales process. It contains 6 dashlets, each focused on key metrics that enable sales leaders and executives to track emerging trends and identify opportunities to improve sales velocity. Let's talk about how to interact with the dashlets. Hovering over the data on the chart displays data labels with more information about the data point. You can click an item or multiple items in the chart legend to highlight the data related to that label on the chart. Click the item again to deselect them, or click anywhere in the chart legend bar to deselect all items. You can also click directly on the data in the chart to select or deselect the data series. The More button opens a menu to choose whether to show or hide the chart legend or chart filters. The Slicer button opens the Slicer view, where you can adjust which predefined slices of the data to include in the chart. For example, if you have your data separable by sales region, the Slicer view would allow you to select which of the sales regions to include in the chart. Check the boxes next to the slices you want to include, click Apply, then click Back in the top left corner to return to the chart. This button is visible only if there are slicers available for the dashlet. And the Insights button opens the Discovery Insights view. Discovery Insights analyzes the data series that are displayed in the chart and provides a glimpse of the biggest changes that are occurring to provide you with actionable insights. A blue dot on the icon indicates that there are unread insights to view. Now let's review the dashlets included in this trend analysis dashboard, beginning with the average deal size trend dashlet. This dashlet shows the average deal size for each month so that you can find positive or negative trends within key business segments. The average deal size is the sum of revenue dollars in the indicated month and sector divided by the number of closed-won opportunities or revenue line items in the indicated month and sector. One insight you may gain from this dashlet is in which segments of the business your average deal size is increasing or decreasing. Next is the win rate trend dashlet. This shows the win rate for each month so that you can spot positive or negative trends within key business segments. The win rate is the number of closed-won opportunities or revenue line items in the indicated month and segment divided by the total number of closed items in the indicated month and segment. An insight you can gain from this dashlet is in which segments of your business your win rate is increasing or decreasing. And next we have the sales cycle trend dashlet. This shows the sales cycle trend for each month so you can spot positive or negative trends within key business segments. The sales cycle is the average sales cycle length in days for closed-won opportunities or revenue line items in the indicated month. From this, you have insight into which segments of the business your average sales cycle length is increasing or decreasing. Onto the sales velocity by stage dashlet. This shows the average days spent in each stage of your sales process for opportunities or revenue line items that transition through those stages for each month. The average is calculated by dividing the sum of the days spent in a given stage in the indicated month by the number of opportunities or revenue line items in that stage in the indicated month. This allows viewers to spot trends where sales velocity is increasing or decreasing in specific areas of the sales process, such as where deals are spending the most time in the sales process and whether your efforts to increase velocity around the qualification process are having success. Next, the idle ops trend monthly dashlet shows the number of idle opportunities or revenue line items on the last day of the trailing 12 months. By default, idle opportunities are defined as the slowest 5% of records within each sales stage for opportunities expected to close in the current or next period. This analysis allows viewers to spot trends where the number of idle records is increasing or decreasing within key business segments. You may gain insight into whether the number of stalled opportunities is trending up or down within key business segments. Last on this dashboard is the top 10 reps for idle opportunities dashlet. This shows the 10 sellers with the highest number of idle opportunities or revenue line items expected to close within the current and next periods. By default, idle records are defined as those that remain in a single sales stage for longer than 95% of other records in the same sales stage. This analysis helps you identify individuals who may be struggling to progress their sales deals. An insight you may gain from this is which reps have the highest number of stalled opportunities expected to close in the current and next quarter. All right, moving on to the second dashboard, the pipeline analysis dashboard. This dashboards provide time-aware insights into pipeline conversion, velocity, generation, and performance relative to prior periods and outcomes. It contains 6 dashlets, each focused on key metrics that enable sales leaders and executives to identify risks and improve forecast accuracy based on data from your opportunities or revenue line items modules. You interact with this dashboard in the same way as the trend analysis dashboard. Let's review the dashlets included here. First, the forecast current versus prior quarters dashlet. This shows a historical comparison of your total pipeline for the current period compared to your pipeline as it looked in the beginning, end, and same day for prior periods. Each column stack represents the sum of the likely revenue for all opportunities in your sugar instance at the indicated date with an expected close date in the same period as that date. Each bar is further segmented by closed won versus open pipeline so that you can see how your open pipeline changes throughout the time period. Some insights you can gain here are how total pipeline for this quarter compares to the same day from prior quarters, as well as how much of your beginning pipeline was converted in prior quarters. By comparing the pipeline at the beginning and end of prior quarters, you can estimate the pipeline coverage needed to reach current targets. Similarly, you could compare the same day and end pipeline from prior quarters to estimate if you have enough remaining open pipeline today in order to hit your targets for the end of this quarter. Next is the pipeline current and next quarter dashlet. This provides visibility into the total pipeline remaining for the current period and the total pipeline for the next period in terms of revenue and opportunity or revenue line items count. Pipeline revenue is further broken down by sales stage to provide an indication of pipeline maturity. Each column represents the total likely revenue for opportunities in your sugar instance with an expected close date in that month. Here you can gain insight into if you have enough remaining pipeline to hit your targets, as well as if you're focusing enough effort on maturing next quarter's pipeline. Moving on to the pipeline creation trend dashlet, which shows how much total pipeline was generated in the last 6 months and in how many potential deals. Pipeline revenue is broken down by sales stage to provide an indication of how quickly the pipeline matures relative to when it was created. The count of opportunities or revenue line items provides a visual representation of how many records were created in each month and allows the viewer to quickly assess the relationship between the pipeline amount and the number of sales opportunities generated, while also facilitating a relative comparison of deals and pipeline generated from month to month. The height of each column represents the total pipeline created in the specified month, and the line chart represents the number of opportunities or revenue line items that were created in that month. The breakdown of sections within the column represents what sales stage those opportunities are currently in. Insights you gain here are whether your pipeline generation is trending up or down over the past 6 months, and whether sales deals are progressing with adequate velocity after creation. Up next, we have the funnel velocity and conversion dashlet. This provides a type of cohort analysis, which looks at what happens to a collection of opportunities or revenue line items as they pass through sales stages from top to bottom. The values along the left side of the funnel show the average number of days that the opportunities or revenue line items spent in that stage of the sales cycle. These values consider only the records that flowed through a given stage and ignore records that have either not progressed that far, skipped that stage in the sales process, or spent less time in the stage than is required to be synced to advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics. Each funnel stage provides the number of records that progressed at least that far in the sales cycle, optionally segmented by a field within your instance. Records do not need to have spent time in this stage to be considered in this count. For example, all records that are in the qualification stage are also included in the prospecting record count because the records have advanced beyond the prospecting stage. The percentage between the stages indicates what percent of the previous stage made it at least as far as the next stage. Some insights you can gain here are what your conversion rate and average sales cycle length are for opportunities created last year, as well as where deals are spending the most time in the sales cycle. Next is the funnel velocity and revenue conversion dashlet. This is similar to the funnel velocity and conversion dashlet, except instead of viewing conversion based on opportunity or revenue line item count, they're based on the sum of revenue dollars. The revenue associated with each record is the revenue when the record entered the stage. With this dashlet, you can gain insight into what your conversion rate and average sales cycle length are for opportunities created last year, as well as where deals are spending the most time in the sales cycle. Last on this dashboard is the funnel flow analysis dashlet. This illustrates how opportunities or revenue line items flow through your sales cycle. The y-axis represents each stage of your sales process, and the color stacks represents which stage the opportunity or revenue line item transitioned to for all activity over the past year. This dashlet gives you insight into where deals are dropping out of the sales process and whether you are investing too much time on deals that you'll eventually lose. With advanced forecasting and pipeline analytics, SugarCell Premier offers invaluable insight into your sales and marketing metrics. You should now have an understanding of what is available in the two dashboards included with this capability. For documentation on this topic, please see the video description below. Thanks for watching.